you really need stuns on your team, and they are lacking that. And Dire have a decent way to be able to cover retreats. So I also don't think this Marcy lane... I wonder how it's going to go. I think the Tide should be pretty okay with the Anchor Smash. Maybe there's going to be some kill threat, though, because Hoodwink's a pretty strong laner, and at least having a stun in the lane for a Taker to be able to fight, but...
And a Blightstone as well. Tide doesn't have any armor purchased up just yet. I wonder if they're even going to try and start this lane off as a tri lane, you know? See if they can get a quick kill onto the Tide Hunter to be able to begin things.
Ugh, man, I don't know.
In terms of predictions?
Yeah.
Go on.
I'm gonna say Dire.
Are you believing in the Viper Ags? Has it taken... You just needed to see it work once, and now you're a believer.
No, I don't really believe in it. Marcy might just rip the Viper apart.
Again, it's all about
If it doesn't.
Can Tide get you to that point where you're not worried about that? I think that's the crux of this game. Because you're not going to be able to make too many aggressive plays, right? Like, Viper doesn't want to move. It's going to need to be tiny going to him. And it's about leaving AM and the Tide Hunter solo, hopefully safely, for as long as you can. But, again, low damage. Like, dying provides nothing. It's really just going to be all on Viper and the Tiny. So it's a question of what are they going to be able to do. You can already see... brought into the negative armor by Respect here for this lane with that Blightstone. Not just good against the Tide Hunter, it's great against the Tiny.
Yeah. So definitely level 2 is something they're looking at for Into the Breach to potentially be able to find a kill once you get that second point. The level up and the rebound's really the big thing. So we'll see if that's going to be something they're able to capitalize on. And meanwhile as well, we've got some top shenanigans. Pretty good micro from Jibe. That's the nice thing about the Lycan. You're able to just use the Wolves to send the creeps all the way around. And one thing I wanted to mention into the game is that another thing that there's value out of the Skyrith Mage is I'd say you're the best support to lane into the Undying. You've got great movement speed, so the Undying is never able to slap you down. You're intel, so you do not care about the decay. You can just easily trade from afar. So not only...
And you buy a stick,
is
right?
it kind of,
you use mana effect incredibly well. So he's just going to be spamming out that concussive shot whenever possible. Just trying to keep himself as far away. Oh, they've even got a little bit of a body block going on here with the Wolves trying to lock in LeBron. Really, it is just, again, getting Zippe into those early timings unopposed.
Now you're fish food.
No, I really wonder how Supreme's going to be able to play this lane as well versus the Viper. Like a melee hero into it. He's got very good position in the crit wave so far here, but once Mobe is able to find that second point of the poison attack, Harass will definitely start to ramp up. So big reason why Supreme had to follow up in the second point of the Dragon's Blood, just to help with his sustain, but definitely feels like it is going to be more of a lane-favored matchup for Mobe.
He's doing a good job so far. 4 denies in this lane.
Yeah.
Going to try and get the right click on, keep the creeps aggroed up towards him. Unfortunately, misses it that time around in the lane, and topside, they're looking to put a little bit of pressure in onto the anti-mage, but yeah, this is just the situation whenever you're laning against a Viper. He's going to be able to get the water rune at least and recover the lane as it pushes underneath the tower. But for now, Supreme's got a decent amount.
Honestly, seems like it's going to be a pretty boring laning phase. I can't see... Yeah. Maybe bottom, but even then, Marcy went sidekick level 2, so the Taker's got no regen, so kind of forced to level that up to help a little bit with the lifesteal to keep him afloat.
I'm just keeping an eye on Otaker's XP bar. You know, does he look to go for an aggressive play onto this Tiny at level 3? Maybe in combination together with a Bushwhack earlier on. So it's going to be very important. Just Alex's positioning, of course, all of that physical damage really does get even more importance when you've got that Blightstone available. Obviously, you're able to get a lot of harass from the Hoodwink, but plus the sidekick, you're going to be able to play around with a lot. Just about to get onto the level 3. Doesn't have the dispose just yet, though. Oh, he won't have the sidekick either. So, yep. You're right. Boring laning phase.
lads, that top rune spot is...
That's not the lane. Yeah.
Man, I was thinking maybe Supreme's like, oh, I'll take that. I'll get him range from extra experience. Yeah, oh, we're starting to see though, now that Mobe's been able to pick up the level, Supreme is having a bit more of a difficult time. So, see what is able to come down to in regards to some of the rotations. How do we feel like the Viper's going to even look to play as well? Will he be calling from supports to potentially move mid, maybe once Mobe hits the level 6?
Yeah, I would say so, but I really don't think the Undying is going to be able to do too much of anything. It's legit all just on Alex here to be able to make those moves. He needs at least level 3 to be able to do it. He's close to being able to pick that one up, but it's just put such a great importance of being able to enable that rotation. He's nearly got the boots of speed as well on that Tiny, so I think both of those timings, just the level 3 plus the additional movement speed, is going to be big to sync up together with that level 6 on the Viper. Just trying to get him low for now, force him to come back into the lane so that you can then convert onto a kill. Very juicy creep wave. Need to be able to try and pick up a few of those last hits, but not quite. There you go. Alex level 3. Courier's coming out to him. He's going to stick around just to make sure they're not getting any of these pulled back for free. Almost gets the range creep deny as well. And now you can look to make this play. I mean, look at where the creep wave is. This is the ideal situation for Mixer.
They should be able to keep the wave here as well. Although Taker might be able to get the hard camp pull. Is he a bit too early? Just aggro's the catapult.
Yeah. But here's that mid rotation.
Look
Alex
at
is
this.
here.
Yeah. Oh, they're even going to drop the tombstone as well.
May as well
We're
confirm
going
it.
to try and rotate some of the TPs in from into the breach, but they will be way too late.
I think it was the zombie that got the last hit on Supreme, unfortunately. So Mobe would have loved that one, but again, such an important kill to be able to pick up. It's even going to have this tombstone up for the next 11 seconds for a little bit of that additional push, just dealing with the creeps, and it's a regen rune. Yeah.
So, why...
Oh, you did bottle it. Never mind. Go ahead.
Why did they pick the Lycan? I do not understand this pick. Because he's getting bodied in the lane. 17 and 4 compared to the 34 and 11. Look, maybe it didn't matter regardless because you're playing to the Undying. Maybe like the Legion or Slaughter, you're still strength heroes and you still would have struggled as Supreme. He's in some trouble as well. They got another Toxic back up shortly to provide the break. Great jukes from Supreme. So able to get some distance away, and now a lot of damage into Mobe as well, but the Viper's in some trouble. They're going to be off the mark with the Breathe Fire, turning towards Respect, another round of the Bushwhack, and a big kill onto the mid counter. So Supreme, they might be able to get LeBron as well. Dragon Tail at the ready, along with the Cube. Man, Supreme is so happy with that skirmish. Against the counter matchup in the Viper, he's able to get involved in 2 big kills.
He is, and it really goes to show the importance of... I mean, I know they've really wanted to drop that tombstone just because it was the first blood. I feel like if it wasn't first blood, you probably don't do that on LeBron with that rotation. But if they have the tombstone there, that's probably a fight that goes in your favor just because of all of the additional slows that are going to be able to get through from that Deathlust on the Undying. But yeah, I don't know why they picked the Lycan, just to answer your question there. Again, into the Viper as well. I guess they feel like this is just something that was going to accelerate the game so that Viper couldn't get to that stage, but that's... I really only like seeing the Viper against lanes that it's going to crush and against Zoo. And this is Zoo, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. They did get a lot of damage into that mid tower, though, off the back of the first kill onto the DK, so... There's that, going for Ancient Tribes still, despite, of course, the DK getting a little bit of that recovery. There's Tiny, that's what I want to know. Just protecting the rune at the moment, but, I mean, they're just standing underneath Respect's ward right now, so complete understanding. Are they thinking of potentially going for a kill onto this Tidehunter? I don't think they can. A, he's level 6, but B, no break, so... going to be a little bit until they get into that stage where they can actually
but they do have the Unleash. That's a huge damage ramp up from Otaker, and you see Respect is trying to see if there's anyone playing behind the Tide and holding his son just in case he looks to go for a TP out as well. So Big kill for them to find.
I mean, they make the rotation at the end there, just as he's about to die. This is a little bit slow there on LeBron. I'm kind of surprised with that. Was expecting him to be able to walk his way away, but I guess I didn't see that he didn't have the boots yet on the Tide Hunter, so maybe he would have been able to make his way back to safety with the Kraken Shell previously. Obviously not wanting to drop the Ravage, needing to use that a little bit more aggressively.
That's Escape. Respect and Immersion covering each other very nicely, so... they will know there's a ward up on the cliff, though. There was a Courier and a Sentry there, so they're well aware that Into the Breach are playing with this ward, but it looks like Mobe, now that he's taken mid, he's going to consider about sweeping down to bottom to try and shove take it out of the lane, but they want to fight, though. I do see this. LeBron's going to look to drop
Triple!
the 2, so defensively, what a bushwhack! With the jump in as well, but Taker's going to be cautious now. Mixer's starting to move over as well, but the threat of the Ravage, and they're all grouped up. Meteor Hammer to drop, and it was a great start, but as soon as that occurs, it turns into a disaster.
Oh, man. I mean, it was a really good initiation, right? Bushwhack at the jump from the Marcy actually ends up breaking the tree, so they didn't get the full value out of the damage there, but, I mean, you take a triple stun as well to follow up on another stun, but that ends up working out worse for them, just from the stun component and the damage, so...
Yeah.
Just needed a
Let
little
me
bit
see
more.
that one back. Level Tombstone was it then? It's only level 1. Dude, that Tombstone did so much. Look at all the zombies stacking up.
The Ravage, though.
Everyone's kind of Kriegazing off the back of that start. The Hoodwink, then they're tied with a Ravage. They're even going to continue to go bottom once again. Mobe.
Zimmy's got to be careful here. Yeah, he just gets mana voided up on the top side, loses all of his creeps that he was able to dominate with the Dark Troll Summoner, and he might even be in a little bit of danger himself as he's getting chased down, but some decent micro coming through from the... Is he just standing there? Is he just watching him? What's going on?
Maybe just...
Yeah, relax, brother. He's got the Vanguard to be able to play around with on Pleb, so he doesn't care.
Bottom lane though, there we go, that's big. Gonna be able to shove the Marcy out of the lane. This is a hero that can struggle to keep up farm inside the jungle. T1 Tower is gonna go their way. What do you want to do on the map now for Ancient Tribe? You've been able to open up the map, getting this T1 mid and T1 bottom. Do we expect them to make any aggressive plays, or is it just chill out a little bit? Maybe give some time to Alex to get towards the Blink Dagger. You still have the Anti-Mage as well, who's not going to be involved at all. What's kind of the gameplay here for Ancient Tribe over the next couple of minutes?
It basically, you need to react to whatever Into the Breach are doing, right? If it's it's 11 minutes in, so you should probably assume that you've got ultimates on the supports that are going to be a bit more of a kill threat for yourself on this top side, but if you see those supports, there's no way you're dying up top. They don't have the chain stuns to be able to play around with. You've got the Vanguard to be able to play with as well. So most of the time, Little Pleb would want to go bottom, but not in this situation. I mean, maybe if he gets caught out here by the Ancient Seal, though. There we go.
Blink's on cooldown. Not going to be able to keep him inside the Mystic Flare range, so... that's honestly 60-second cooldown. It's a lot of the damage early on for Into the Breach, and they want the Helm Dome creep, and they should be able to find it. So plus 100 gold, and yeah, they might be able to get some kills as well. Zibe activates the Shapeshift's going to be able to address the Tombstone, but the Soul Rip will keep it up for the moment. They need to turn to it. Finally, they're able to do so. They might be able to get the Anti-Mage as well. The long duration silence and the double bushwhack. The backup has arrived. Mobe, he's here on the Viper, and as soon as they see Mobe, they're going to look to try and respect the Viper. Back on off as best as they can, but respect will not be able to get enough distance away. As in the end, a 1-for-1, but of course, Into the Breach very happy with that. Yeah, meanwhile, Mix-Up is in trouble. A Taker doesn't have the Unleash anymore, and I think Mixer should be fine. He might be able to get a solo kill with Ravage. He's going to look to try and turn. Gush up in a couple of seconds as well, but there was a big Wong usage from a Taker to get the bonus health back, but it's not going to matter. Mixer, a well-deserved tip and a great read that he could turn to kill off the Marcy.
She is going to be a lot of that early tempo, right? She's going into the Battle Fury as well, just so that you can try and keep up with this Anti-Mage. And I kind of mentioned what Little Pleb had to do, right? He just needed to keep an eye on the supports, and, well, all the supports revealed himself, and he still went in. So I think that just goes to show that, you know, just the 1 point in the counter spell is probably a little bit weak against all the damage that they had coming back the other way. It was a good Ancient Seal that Immersion was able to land in onto him.
maxed out as well. So really it's going to prove to be a big issue till Pleb is able to find that Manta. Of course, will take quite some time.
He's learned his lesson, though. He's avoided that top lane. I still think he can go top, honestly. Like, Mix is showing up mid, but I'm not sure if he needs to. There's no tower for him to take. This is relatively safe farm. This isn't where the Lycan is going to be setting up to be able to take towers. So...
Maybe just on his way to top.
Maybe.
I like the Force Staff that Mix has got queued up, though, next. That's such a great item burst into the breach. That is the big thing I'm concerned about, is that they're just going to be kited. Marcy hates to be kited. You
break the bushwhack,
the same with the Sky, the same with the Hoodwink. Just so much value out of the Force Staff this game. And you know the supports, they're going to struggle with going to it. Like, Alex needs a Blink, and then he can consider Force next. You know, we see that the Undying's going Holy Locket, so he doesn't want to rush it.
Break in onto the Tide, but he's not all that concerned. They're giving a lot of this farm over to the Tiny, realizing the importance of him being able to respond to a lot of this. Okay. Quick pick.
Gonna get blown up.
Viper even making the rotation up towards top. I mean, again, this is a space for anti-mage. I think you're happy with this. You're not losing anything on the map right now with just Tidehunter putting himself in front of that tower. And look what you had to pop. You pop the Shapeshift, you pop the Sharpshooter, you pop the Mystic Flare, Elder Dragon Form, and you got basically nothing out of it other than a position 5. So Ancient Tribe are over the moon with it.
I'll see one more creep's going to give her enough gold, though, for the battle freeze. Nonetheless, it's a pretty good timing here for Otaker. And, I mean, we see Pleb as well is very close. He's going to be able to disassemble the Vanguard, so just really needs 400 for the Void Stone. So full weight down bottom. And
Marcy's going to need to be that hero, though, that takes out the Tombstone. At least it's just level 1, so, you know, the 3 strikes should put it down to low HP pretty quickly, but you want to be doing damage onto heroes. You know, you're the position 1.
You don't think it's Zibe's job on the Lycan?
I guess, but, I mean, you get extra movement speed. You don't get extra damage. You get crit. You can't crit a Tombstone. AM just blinking away.
Yeah, very close. They had the Wolf scouting out Pleb's position, so we're almost able to get that jump. And maybe that's one thing that we could see from Jibe with his micros to potentially help out some of those pickoffs, because that is really the name of the game for Into the Breach. Like, their team fight is very, very weak. You are relying on these pickoffs, and we're yet to see them. You go at it as a Skyeth Mage. Yes, this hero lane's very well versed on Undying, but you have... Your level 6 is a crap load of damage and a low cooldown spell. Level 1, 60 seconds. You gotta be keeping it on cooldown, getting kills across the map, and they're unable to do so fast. And a lot of that is props to Ancient Tribe, though. They're giving them no room, and as a result, they haven't been able to get some deep vision down because they haven't been able to get the towers as well.
That's the thing, right? No pickoff, no towers. You've got the Blink Dagger to be able to make a play on with the Dragon Knight, but I think he wants to guarantee his scalability just with the Aghanim Shard as well. So again, different strokes for different folks. Supreme wants to go down this route instead, but again, the longer you take to make this move, the closer Mobile gets towards that Ag. So he's of course got the Dragon Lance, which gives great value to the Viper right now, and then of course you can disassemble it so that you've already got that Blade of Alacrity available. So you're not losing towers, you're farming on Lil Pleb, you're farming on the Dire side, on this Viper, taking multiple camps at once. This is a dream for Ancient Tribe.
Yeah, and LeBron knows his role as well this game for the Undying. We just saw prior Into the Breach made an attempt on the Pleb in the bottom lane with the Sky and the Hoodwink, but LeBron was just able to get a little bit of vision to scout that out, so they couldn't follow up. And he's making sure he's always playing in front of the anti-mage so he can pop that smoke as mid lane. Toss back. DK's going to look for a TP out. That's a pretty good read. Very nicely done. Supreme, he's out.
LeBron not wanting to go in too deep, but again, though, that's some of the kill threat off the map. They're actually going to go for an aggressive play themselves, giving the bottle over to the Tiny. He's actually going to be the one that goes in first. I mean, he's got the Blink Dagger to be able to make the plays. Smoke will pop first onto him, so he can just continue to move on forward, and that's a big kill.
It is indeed. Meteor as well, dropped down on the head. And with that attempt, we saw Into the Breach. They were trying once again onto Lil Pleb. And able to catch up to him. And
how are you going to kill him without a DK, though?
Yeah. They were trying to... Ooh, see this time. But again, they're just a little bit too late.
And the thing is, I really like LeBron's build now that I see it, you know? He's got the Holy Locket, and he's got maxed out Soul Rip, because it's almost entirely single target damage right now on Into the Breach. So it's just about saving that one person. I really wouldn't hate to see him go like a Glimmer Cape after this, just to be able to double down on that. So it's meant that he's had to sacrifice the points in the Tombstone for now, but he's even going to have that leveled up to maximum soon to be able to address that. Might find a pick-off, though, on the back of this ward.
And they got the Helm of the Overlord as well from Zibe. So this is really the first big timing we're going to see from the boys on Into the Breach, but they need to use it. Supreme's going to get the jump. A heavy commitment just to kill LeBron, and Supreme E-jumps on the low ground. So there's no escape for the Dragon Knight, and now the rest of the Into the Breach, they feel awkward of whether they should continue on with a team fight or not, as Mobe are going to wrap around. They're not going to be able to get the kill on the Helm of the Overlord. Zibe, of course, still with that Shapeshift activated.
But I mean, you just said it, right? Shapeshift activated for a kill on the Undying, where you lose your DK. This is not the situation that you want to be playing into. It puts a lot of emphasis onto Otake to be able to carry.
Again, someone is always playing next to the Anti-Mage to act as that bodyguard. Just intercepting the attempt. They tried to go for the burst, but... Oh, man, Alex and LeBron are doing a very good job with their positioning so far. That's a big reason why Lil Pleb is top of the net worth.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
You just want to get that Sky scaling as quickly as possible. What's he going? He's going a 4-staff himself. I mean, it's important against the Viper for sure, but I almost wonder if you're going to get a little bit more value coming out of something like an Atos, you know? You are against a lot of 4-stars, of course.
Supreme.
You just TP back here.
And he's not going to be able to make those TP shenanigans like we saw prior. Supreme, he'll go down. He'll trade the life for the Tiny. And it might be in some trouble as well, but that's where LeBron's able to come into play. They're going to get the Helm of the Overlord creep as well, plus 250 gold. They also see Marcy farming under the triangle. Next, might just force stuff in and look for the Ravage. He can chain control with the meteor, but they actually want Roche instead. Flesh Column activated, and 3 points in the Tombstone.
Kind of crazy that they're still going to have this high ground ward as well to be able to play around with to lead into Roshan. I think maybe without this, they wouldn't have felt confident enough to go for it, but yeah, just another freebie, something else that Lycan Wolf is going to walk its way in, trying to get a little bit of a last hit and bit of information off, but they'll deal with that before claiming that Roshan. So again, they could just fight even more aggressively now, and now you've got a Manta style as well to be able to deal with that Ancient Seal.
So there goes your kill potential. Like, that was it. You had a window where Ayan didn't have the Manta.
Oh, nice try.
It's going to be off the back of very close to getting out, but now you group up off the back of the Ages. And again, we spoke about earlier, but Into the Breach, they can't fight, man. You don't have a team fighting lineup, so now their strength is just, it's dwindled away.
I don't even know if they want to group up yet. I still think it's going to be like, maybe make kills with LeBron. Can you? LeBron, Mixer, and Alex as a trio? Don't feel all that confident about that. Anti-Mage is happy to continue to farm. Viper still needs the Ags. He chose to go into the Hurricane Pike first, rather than wanting to break down the Dragonlance into that Blade of Alacrity, which again, I don't hate. You're up against a Bushwhack, you're up against the Mystic Flare. Makes a lot of sense. Does just mean you're going to be a tiny bit slower. Can they protect him this time is the real question. Alex has that blink available to be able to make this counter initiate.
No bait. Oh, they might be able to blow him off the back of a Taker. Assassinates the Viper. A Taker's going to look to Alex next as well, but the Marcy playing with the BKB, so the Ravage will not connect. A gigantic fight for the carry of Into the Breach. He's able to deal with the Tombstone as well as finally Into the Breach. Some signs of life for them, and I gotta say, it's around a pretty similar timing to what we saw in the previous game as well.
Otake deserves tips from his entire team. He couldn't have done anything better that fight, right? Finding the initial jump, using the BKB at the perfect time as the Ravage comes out. That is one area that they're seriously lacking. It stuns. You know, they didn't land the perfect Avatos combo. They split up enough that it was only able to catch onto one or two, and then he just rips through them all. Of course, having that Helm of the Overlord for the bonus damage really does help.
Otake has pretty much got enough gold now for the Blink Dagger, which is now going to further help him lock onto his targets. So, all right.
Still needs the Basher for mine.
What's it going to go for?
They're going for a dive here.
Yeah, they're going to try and bring down the Marcy.
Guess he doesn't have
So what's it
BKB.
enough mana to be able to get the jump away. A little bit hesitant kind of with the which person they wanted to prioritize down there from Ancient Tribe.
He just got out of vision very briefly on the Skywrath Mage as well, so wasn't able to land the Mana Void. They're still playing around this Aegis, though, for the next minute and a half, and, well, they're going to take away a lot more of that vision that they have to play around with. Maybe they're just feeling confident that, hey, the BKB was on cooldown, let's look to play aggressive once more. Little pleb, though. He's just going to fight away from the team for now. He's got the Basher.
Go time again.
Well, Mobe's actually going into a Halberd, so clearly wanting to force an early BKB out of Oteka.
It's a pretty good ward for Radiant to play with still. You get a lot of vision, but do they want to go this deep off the back of the smoke?
Tiny's the hero to jump on every time. I think it just takes away all of that control.
Okay, that's the big thing. Just a control you're looking to take out of the equation.
Because you're going to have movement speed on the back of the Lycan, right? So Ravage was down for about 30 seconds when they were making that play, but with them not connecting onto anyone despite that vision, it's going to be back up in another 10 seconds. You've got the Blink Dagger, of course, on the Tide. He's even got the Plate Mail as well to be able to survive. Perhaps Oteka finding that jump onto him, even with all of that extra damage. They're going to see where the courier's going.
Yeah. They really wanted Zibe. This Lycan is... You need to shut him down. He's got the Scepter queued up, and that is a big spike. Honestly, that could be the way back into this game here for Into the Breach if you can get that Wolf Bite onto the Marcy.
It's a big deal as well. Being able to take out that courier, just going a little bit too deep on the Viper, just auto-sending the courier through onto him. Can they find the jump?
Dream.
They've still got 50 seconds left on that Aegis. They want to put Anti-Mage first. They want to force out some big cooldowns if they can afford to. They might get Immersion for free, though.
But they will. Might be able to go to Taker as well. Alex, very close to getting the jump. Taker's going to be able to TP out. Alex won't be able to find him. So, you've now... Your lanes are still in a pretty good position here for Ancient Tribes. You're going to be able to shove mid, look to shove top as well. Again, for me, I'm paying a lot of my attention on Jazibe. How long is it going to take him to get this Scepter?
Still puts a lot of pressure onto Oteka, right? Like, he's going to have this Basher finished up. He's going to need a Nullifier next because they're just about to finish up the third 4-star on Ancient Tribe as well. You mentioned before the potential for the Kite. Tiny's got a Ghost Scepter queued as well with a Philosopher's Stone. So, like, good luck trying to find the kills onto these heroes if you don't have that available to yourself. That buff remover. Now,
overall though,
keep the lanes shoved. Respect doing a decent job on the bottom side of the map.
Also, I'm quite impressed with the fact that Into the Breach, this lead is not growing now. That past fight gave them a big opportunity to be able to continue to play the map. In fact, they've even been able to cut a little bit into the lead. So, Tribe struggling to try and find some openings across the map. I mean, they are still continuing to get a lot of farm, though. This Abyssal Blade now completed on Low Pleb. Halberd's going to be picked up shortly once the Courier respawns for Mobe. So still, it's good for them, but Into the Breach, just with how they're playing across the map, and they've got barely any vision. Oh, Shapeshift? It's like just to try and keep the Helm of the Overlord creep alive. So that Shapeshift now on cooldown for Jibe. It's really close to the Scepter as well. So not going to have the Wolf Bite and Shapeshift in combination together if they wanted to fight straight away.
It's pretty significant, right? Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, did they use the Ravage on the creep? Put Ravage on cooldown.
I don't actually know.
Huh. Oh well. We've got but they will know that they've got that Halberd available when there's no shapeshift, right? So you're really not that worried about just popping it onto the Helm of the Overlord creep because it's not going to be moving all that fast. You can't put it onto the Lycan because he's a non-factor. It's all about the Marcy, and again, it just forces a much earlier than ideal usage out of the BKB. He wants to have that in response to the stun combinations that are coming through. And he just won't have that if Ancient Tribe look to take this fight once that Talisman of Evasion gets picked up in a little bit. But he's been 200-300 gold away for quite some time. Actually sold something, didn't see what, to be able to pick it up. So I think they want to be able to make a play around this. What's he got here? Okay. Not going into the... all right. Flesh Golem to be able to kill the Ancient Black Dragon. I guess it's a lot of gold. But with that time, they're just going to move back out onto the map. You know, they had a rough time taking a single tier 1 tower.
Supreme? They've got a Grey Ward in the river. They know that no one else is playing behind him. Oh, big Wand is going to give him enough mana here for the BKB. There we go. There's the charge up and there's the Wolf Bite. Oteka. He's looking to get in the middle. They've got a Great Ward on the cliff as well to take the fight here for the boys on into the breach. But how can you enter the middle? Oteka's going to look to make the attempt. He wants to take Mobe completely out of the equation. But the 4 staffs are kiting him. Oteka still hasn't been able to secure the kill. Now Mixer, considering about jumping in the middle, won't be able to find the angle for the Ravage. Ancient Tribe losing multiple members. Supreme, though, finally will go down. So the person they started the fight on will be the last person that ends up dying inside that skirmish.
Oh, they might even find the Hoodwink here. Yeah, they will. Not quite giving the kill over to Pleb, but, I mean, their game plan is pretty simple, right? They lay down the Tombstone, they fight in this big open area where you're not going to get good value out of some of your AoE stuns or the Battle Fury, and then kite out that BKB. This is the value that we see out of the Halberd. I don't think we even saw it in that fight. I might be wrong. But it just forces a really early usage out of that BKB.
Yeah. And we saw as well that was a fight where Mobe was actually able to Viper Strike the Marcy. And even though you're not going to slow it down, it's the attack speed, the attack slow, which was the big thing, why she wasn't able to rip the Viper apart. So that's another thing that we kind of need to be looking at in regards to Mobe and his spell casting. Not only the Halberd, but now you got the ultimate to deal with her.
At least got the drums, I suppose, to be able to play with on the Lycan, but yeah. Only lasts for so long, right? 6 seconds. Trying to find a quick pick onto Alex. He looks like he'll be able to get away. I want to know the point when someone buys Gem on Ancient Tribe. I mean, they're leading up towards Roshan. You've got Wolves constantly scouting you out. And I think you just need to try and use that to be able to take advantage of this. You should know that there's no shapeshift.
LeBron. Whoa. Oteka's kind of stuck here, though. He needs someone to jump off. He's going to be able to find that target. Mixer's looking to jump and find the Ravage as well. It's on to 3, and that's going to enable Lil Pleb 1-1. They're getting chased down. Oteka finds an angle to TP out, a little hidey hole, so he'll escape. Zibe as well is going to run to the northeast, so Lycan's okay. Another fight goes the way of Ancient.
Run, Golem. Stop standing still. Okay, Run, Golem.
Radiant's bottom tower
See though,
is under
like,
attack.
yeah, it can.
I don't even know if there's a winner
fights.
off that, though, right?
Gotta be dire. I mean, you buy back out a Hoodwink, you get the kill in the sky. Even though Ravage is used, it's still also. I mean, Wolf fights back up with the Quickening Charm, but probably get just with the slight advantage off the back of the kills and that buyback.
Very slight. And,
Okay.
well, Oteka's tired of getting kited around. Nullifier queued up next. Makes a lot of sense. Actually,
And they're gonna smoke as well with a Ravage on cooldown for 90.
they did buy a gem off the back of that, though. So now they're wanting to really take care of these wolves, but it's not like Tidehunter is the easiest one to make the jump onto unless you're just so on point with that break coming
No
through.
BKB for 10 on the Marcy.
That's why they're
There's a wait for
hesitating.
this. They're going to look for the long wraparound, but there's the Wolf Bite and there's the angle straight onto the Viper. A prime target to take out of the equation. Oteka turns to deal with a tiny, but he's locked into place. Pleb finds a bash, but the BKB is going to get activated. Oteka more than healthy now to look to turn. He wants the man fight. Pleb just able to get the blink away at the last second. Oteka's hoping for some life still. And Mana Void's not enough to bring him down, but it looks like Ancient Tribe should be able to clean up. Over to Hoodwink they go, turning over to the sky as well. Both supports once again, back-to-back fights. A bit killed off, and now they're not even done as well as Supreme is next on the chopping block. Lil Pleb should be able to get the chase down.
Toss in onto him,
Mixer
maybe?
gonna get in range for the gosh. There we go. Pleb's in. It's got the mana burn to slow Supreme down. And this time, a much more valuable kill as well. And Ancient Tribe will be rewarded with that second Roche of the game.
Man, that Boots of Travel paid dividends for Mobe. He kited out a Lycan, chasing him for a solid 15 seconds until his Halberd and Ghost Scepter were back off cooldown. He completely took the Lycan out of that fight. And that's a big reason why, you know, of course, after landing the initial Viper Strike, after getting the Halberd in, forcing in that BKB, They were able to be on the winning end of that engagement. Now, of course, with the tombstone being dropped, they should be able to secure this Roshan for themselves too. I just see like they're going the Ghost Scepter on the Undying too. They're just like, all right, you can't nullify everyone.
It seems like Otake just has to do too much in the fights, right? Like, you gotta kill the Tiny, you gotta kill the Viper, because if you don't, you get kited with Viper Strike and Halberd. And now if you don't jump on the AM, then AM's gonna jump on you with the Abyssal Blade, and then you might not have mana to play with inside the fight, and kind of Marcy needs that to be able to get in and out, to be able to play with the sidekick, to keep you healthy, so he's got to do too much. Low pleb.
They think they can burst him?
Alright, well they're gonna see the anti-mage alone. Oh, just gets the Abyssal at the last second. Otake
Leaping Wolf
wasn't able to play with the Dispose. Still trying to catch him out of the tree line, but... Hang on. For both the carries DP out. Zibe, he's got no TP though. Do they want to go for the chase? Do they know this though?
Nah, I don't think they know. They are not aware.
If they click the melee creep, they might see some
it had
of these auras.
It had it previously, and he made sure to walk away so that it didn't. Yeah, Alex keeps the wave shoved out. He knows that there's no kill threat really on the map, and even if there was, he's got all those annoying items. He's got Glimmer Cape, he's got Force Staff, he's about to go into Ghost Scepter, so the game plan is so simple. Be unkillable. Even Mobe Ghost Scepter.
The odds from esportsbet.io very much favoring Ancient Triad $7. 11,000 net worth lead at this stage in the game. We saw they did have the lead in the previous game. The Breach was somehow able to find a way back in, but it feels like if they were going to find a way back in to this game in particular, it was going to be off the back of some of the early usages out of the Wolf Bite. Now I don't know if the potential is there for them.
Yeah, like you said, everything is on Otaker's back here. Like, he needs to do so much, and honestly, it almost feels like you're not going to be able to do it until you get like the Nullifier and a Refresher, maybe.
They see Jibe and Otake down bottom, and look at Mobe's position, the high ground. Oh, it's a perfect setup. All thanks to the ward usage. Jibe even popped the shapeshift as well, so that's another thing on cooldown.
Even Viper just not wanting to go the BKB. He's looking to go into the Manta style for a little bit more of his own survivability, of course. And, well, he's starting to scale. As I said, screw the Aghanims. Don't need it. Just want to find a target.
What a decent person. Actually bring down a start, and Supreme now. The free pathing's going to be able to fly over the top. Pleb might be able to get respect, but he's got enough mana for the Force Staff as well. There's cheeky
no way
psychic headband usage.
No way at all. Thinking maybe he lays down the fireball and blinks back. Looks like that might be the case, but gotta be careful. I mean, his DK is kind of, I don't want to say squish, but anti-mage does not care. Especially now with a butterfly. So even now, if Marcy gets the go in onto the anti-mage, you might miss a few of those hits. You might need an MKB. So it's just more and more items are being racked up that Marcy needs.
Yeah.
It's honestly going to get to the point where maybe... All right, what's the ideal item kit for the Marcy to have? I think it's like Abyssal. You probably still need to keep the Battle Fury just for the farming purposes. You could sell the Treads. You go into a Swift Blink. You have a Nullifier and a Refresher. That's what I would want to have.
Yeah, I think Scepter's is also pretty core on a RC one. Bottom lane, respect. Chilling for the moment. Radiant, they do have some members down bottom. Like maybe they're going to be gearing up for a fight. Oh, they're able to get the Lycan. Shapeshift is activated from Jibe, and as a result, he should be able to duck on out. It's going to come down to Alex if he can find the angle.
I was wondering if they were going to use multiple Force Staffs onto Alex just to be able to get him in range for that Avatos. Not going to happen, though. Again, they stall things out. I mean, I think Zibe realized the sort of situation that they're playing into with Ancient Tribe wanting to group up and fight, and them just trying to stall the game out, get Marcy into those next items. He bought the Aghanim Shard, so those waves are going to push out a little bit more strongly. That's why that even with all of this, there's still a melee creep hitting into that tier 2 bottom, so will it be enough? That's always going to be the big question. 500 gold short of the Sacred Relic as Oteka. Oh, he's in that spot. He's in the spot. Pleb knows. Oh.
Is he? Oh, wait, he did know. Okay.
Oh, how are you dodging this?
What? He's alive?
And it's Frankenstein. Where's Monster? Aegis expires as well.
Right.
They've delayed it.
Yeah. Well, let's see how much that's going to matter, though. 15,000 leads. So, I mean, Anti-Mage just... With that Aegis, yeah, you can take the bottom tier 2 tower. You've already got a mid, but he's just skyrocketed his net worth. Level 25, 4 levels ahead of the second highest in the game in Mixer. He's 10,000 gold ahead of the Marcy as well. So we spoke about how much how much pressure is on the back of a taker. How are you going to be able to kill the Anti-Mage now with Butterfly?
Good question. Very good question. Like I said, needs way too much. I mean, Hoodwink could have gone for the... Might be dead. Facing the wrong way, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But, like, that's what I was about to say. Like, he could have bought the shard a while ago, but I think he still feels like Tide is one of the more important targets to be going in onto. He wants the Blink Dagger. He wants to be able to blink in his face, sharpshooter his face, and then get the rest of the team to jump in onto him and burst him down. But, I mean, then does Mixer buy the Ghost Scepter?
This must be such a frustrating game to play for Ancient Tribe. In you have this huge lead, you're just getting kited across the map. Like, their pickup potential is kind of poopy. And you see, that's why they're just running them across. Your bottom, top to mid, they go anywhere, it doesn't matter. And soon Ancient Tribe just going to try and force the issue. You've got such a big lead. Like, what are you really waiting for?
Though, right? Like, you've got this double siege creep wave. You've got the wolf that, of course, you can then look to apply that debuff onto a lot of these creep waves, so they're just spamming it whenever it's available, right? They want these waves pushed out. They want to stall the game. They've got the Nullifier. It really doesn't feel like Oteka can get into a second item, though, before the next team fight breaks out. I mean, you would have to assume it's going to be around that Roche pit. But they've been able to pick up the AC on the Lycans, so again, little things going in their favor. How close is DK to the Manta? Well, still about 1,000 or so gold. But he's getting there, you know? Top lane's pushing in. Anti-Mages had to make more of a defensive rotation.
I mean, maybe with that ninja gear on Lil Pleb, though, it's going to help out with them getting the pickoffs and catching out some of these heroes being a nuisance in the side lanes.
Mortem alone. He's going up first. Again, just being scouted out by this this wolf, though. Anyone holding the gem right now? It's going to be Alex.
We'll get the break. And now Oteka's going to be in as well.
No buyback.
They'll get rid of the big team fight here on the Tide Hunter. For the help it's there, it's going to stop Oteka from getting any right-click damage out. And Pleb, they're going to be able to secure the kill. So a lot of damage onto Lil Pleb. But the BKB is going to be activated. He can look to stand strong. Repairs a lot of the damage. Is now looking to jump on forward as the retreat has been called. The Breach will cut their losses with just Oteka going down. But it was a great start onto the Tide, and be a bit of a window for them to get more out of it. Unfortunately, it just won't be the case.
I wonder if they can have a quick check of his items. They should see that Nullifier was available, and well, if that's the case, probably doesn't have the buyback, right? It's going to at least give them the opening to go into this Roche pit. LeBron might even just choose to stick himself in here. Or they could look to find another, but top lane not really pushed out. Lil Pleb just trying to find someone out on their own. See you later, Emergent. Maybe? Maybe not. Maybe yes.
Maybe not.
They can go. Refresher on Tide would be pretty nice.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
We'll have the mana for it too. Plenty of mana items.
Alright. Should be an easy roach for them to find. They know what's going on though on Into the Breach. They have a relatively good ward placement up on the high ground. They are gearing up for a smoke as well. They're going to have a Taker back alive, and importantly, they do have that wolf bite as well.
I know exactly what's
going to see them coming
there.
over. They don't take Roche overly fast, so Ancient Tribe. They're going to be forced to try and stand their ground and take a fight. Supreme Wants to give them the vision, but Emil down to the south. Oh my lord, look at the mana void. Pleb just blows up both the supports and Undertaker. He's too far behind. He can't man fight. The Marcy, you picked the hero to try and stand his ground, but they don't have the net worth. Ancient Tribe are way too far ahead. Trying to catch up to Supreme they go. He's going to be able to dash into the trees, but now after the successful fight, Ancient Tribe, they can look to go back and find this third Roche of the game and give that Refresher Shard, like you're saying, over to Mixer. So now you're going to have a double Ravage to work with inside some of the fights.
Did feel like a little bit of a desperation play, but I mean, it got to that stage. But that's just 2 fights in a row where Marcy's not able to do anything up against the anti-mage, especially. Now, even with the Lycan Wolves pushing in multiple lanes, mid's pushed, top's pushed, no Marcy. Marcy is your damage. You just can't fight into this. They won't be able to find a single pickup. There's no real need for them to split up. Immersion trying to get at least the bottom lane in a little bit of a better spot, but doesn't have a TP for another 10 seconds, so actually going to be forced back a little bit. Wolf trying to drag the wave, but it's not going to be able to do enough. 1 melee racks minimum.
What's going to stop them from going more? Like, finally, you're up in a position where you're going to get objectives. That's been the issue for the entirety of this game. They've just been kited across the map. I'd be quite surprised if they leave.
Even, yeah, they want to. Placing down the tombstone preemptively. Again, this is not something that Otaka can deal with. It's not something that Lycan wants to deal with either. They want to get in onto the backlines. They're even just using the Viper illusions for some of that vision.
Let's see.
Shapeshift.
Potential last fight here for Into the Breach. How can they find the angle that... It's going to be a miracle fight for them. Supreme's going to look to try and start them to the tide. They'll get forced off aggressively into the middle with the BKBs. They're trying to deal with Mobe on the backline.
They can ravage.
Taker's doing a decent amount of damage at the moment, but once the BKB expires, they can turn to hold the Marcy into place, and in the end, Mobe doesn't even die, so no buyback on Otaka, and this should be the G's coming out pretty shortly.
Meteor Hammer backpacked. Not going to matter. Anti-Mage has finally come online. They're even going for more. They're going to be able to find out that that DK would be looking for another toss back, another Tombstone. They'll have another Ravage if they want it as well, but might just be a celebratory one, and it is. Game 3, Lucky.
Alright, game 3. Quite a showing from Ancient Tribe as well. They definitely had to work for it in...